Candle-Kwanzaa-Media.com.
Greetings. I'm Okira Ross I of KwanzaaMedia.com, and I'm very privileged today to be talking with filmmaker, author, professor, not just professor, tenured professor, Brother M.K. Asante Jr. Greetings, brother.
Priest.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Great to be here with you, man.
I'm
Thanks
glad
for
you
having
took,
me.
yeah, my pleasure, my pleasure. So we want to talk to you today about his film, The Black Candle, let you know a little bit more about that and let you know more about him. So first of all, just before we talk about The Black Candle, tell us a little about yourself. You're the offspring of some very dynamic people. Tell us about your parents.
Yeah, well, I was born in Zimbabwe to Malefi Asante and Kayama Welsh, who my mom is a choreographer, a dancer, a scholar of aesthetics. My father is a scholar, a writer. And so you may have heard of him. His name is Malefi Asante. So I was born there in Zimbabwe, and we came to America in 1983, and been here ever since. Grew up in Philadelphia, and I've always gravitated toward the arts and film and media. And
okay.
things, yeah.
All right. And you're a professor?
Yes, I'm a professor at Morgan State University. And that's just wonderful. Yeah, it's been a great experience.
And what are the classes that you teach?
So I teach creative writing, screenwriting. I teach documentary film classes. I teach a class actually called It's Bigger Than Hip Hop, where we use hip hop as a vehicle to look at social political issues. I teach poetry class. So basically a lot of creative writing classes, and then the hip hop class, and then things related to film.
Okay, all right. And you have some books under your belt. What are those?
Definitely. So my books are It's Bigger Than Hip Hop. It's the latest book, and then that's creative nonfiction. And then the other two books, Beautiful and Ugly 2 and Like Water Running Off My Back, are poetry books.
Okay. And The Black Candle, that's not the only film you've done as well, right?
No, The Black Candle is my second film. I directed it, wrote it, co-wrote it, and produced it. But the first film I did was called 500 Years Later, and that looks at slavery and colonialism around the diaspora, the effects that it's had on African people all over the world, and not just the effects that it's had, but how we can overcome those effects. So that's 500 Years Later. Then we have Motherland, which is the new film, which really deals and looks a lot at the historic and also contemporary issues that affect Africa on the continent. So those are my three films. They're all documentary films, and working on a bunch more.
Wow, okay,
Yeah.
all right. So as far as The Black Candle is concerned, it's an award-winning film. What are some awards that the film
Well,
has
it
got?
won Best Documentary at the Africa World Documentary Film Festival, and it's just got nominated for an Image Award, so it's got a bunch of different things under its belt. And 500 Years Later is winner of 5 awards. And Motherland just won the Best Documentary at Pan-African Film Festival and also at the Zanzibar International Film Festival.
Okay, all right. So The Black Candle, that's like the first feature-length Kwanzaa movie. Out of all the 50 million different subjects that you could have picked to do a film on, what inspires you to do a film on Kwanzaa?
Well, I guess because one thing, it hadn't been done before, and I thought that was important. Just because, I told you, or I guess I told them earlier on that I believe in transforming observations into obligations. I didn't see that film. I thought that film was important, so I decided to, endeavor in making it. So that was one of the main reasons. I thought it's an important topic. It's something that's really misunderstood. People don't know what it is. People don't know where it comes from. And I wanted to put it in like a historical context, because I'm real big on context. I like to know, if you say something, what's the context? Where were you when you said it? What was going on? And so I want to know, okay, we have this holiday. Well, where did it come from? What was going on at the time? And then what's happened since then? So I was really interested in it.
Wow, okay.
And using it also as a vehicle or as a prism to really look at the overall African American and African diasporan experience.
Okay. So you got a lot of heavyweight personalities in this film. So tell me some of the people who are in it.
Well, the film is co-written and narrated by Dr. Maya Angelou, so she's really the voice of the film. And then, a lot of people who are instrumental to the holiday are in the film, like Dr. Karenga, for example, who's the founder of the holiday. And then there are people like Chuck D and Deb Prez who are in the film. And then you have people like scholars like Hakeem Adabuti and you know, Dr. Gay Teresa Johnson and other people, Lisa Brock. So you have scholars, and then you have everyday folks, you know, people who celebrate, or people who don't celebrate but want to know, or people who have questions, and people who have their own opinions about different aspects of the Black experience. So you have like a range of people. I always think it's important to have the kind of celebrity figures and have the people that we know about, but also feature the people that you may have never heard of.
Okay.
You know, the teachers and the educators and the people at the grassroots level, barbers, you know, whoever, you know, because all those people really are part of our experience.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, poets.
And you even have the woman who designed the Kwanzaa postage stamp is in it as well.
Yeah,
right?
Cynthia St. James, you know, visual artist. She designed the first original Kwanzaa stamp. I think that was '97.
Okay.
You know, so she's in it. She actually designed also the cover art for the Black Candle film.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So when you look at that cover, that image, that's her.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good work.
Yeah.
So what travels did making this movie take you? Where all did you film it?
Well, it was cool because you know, one thing that people really like about the film is like when you look at the scene where we go to Paris, you know, and you see like the brothers in Bonjour, ça va, bienvenue, Paris, celebrate, Kwanzaa. You're like, oh, okay, so they do it over here.
Bonjour, bienvenue au Kwanzaa à Paris. Les idées véhiculées par Kwanzaa.
So we went to Paris and went to Jamaica and went to Africa, went to Ghana, and really most of the time though was spent around the continent, you know, the U.S., continental U.S.
Wow.
Went to Toronto, but we mainly just focused on the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as production progressed, did the film begin to take on a new vision and a new scope?
It did, man. I thought it was going to be one thing in the beginning, and then it kind of evolved into something else. And that's how I think a lot of times the creative process works. You know, you kind of come in with an idea, but in a documentary, you know, you may have a kind of an outline written already, or you may have a narration written, but you don't really know what people are going to say and how that's going to develop. So as we began to do interviews and talk to people from all around the country who've been doing this for years, you know, the film started to take its own shape. And so we realized, oh, wow, this is, for me, it was like, at one point it was like, this is going to be a film about the holiday. But then as we began to do more and more interviews, I realized that it was a film about the holiday, but it was also a film about our story, our people, our journey. And so it became a vehicle, the holiday became a vehicle through which to look at our people and our journey and our identity, essentially. So, and really a celebration of that identity, of that journey, of that experience. So it did change and evolve and grow, I think, really in a positive way. Okay. Yeah.
And you commented on something that Maya Angelou said after she saw the final version of the movie. Would you comment on that, about how many copies she'd like to see made?
Oh, yeah. She said she saw the film when we sent it to her after we were done editing. And she said that she wants to distribute 1 billion zillion copies.
That's a real number, you know that.
Wow. So we're working on it. We're like a bit of ways from 1 billion zillion, but we're you know, that's the goal. You want everyone to see it. You know, you want people, because it's the kind of film that inspires, it empowers, and it also educates. And I think the more people to see that film, you know, the better world we'll live in, because I think the film deals with really important issues as far as we're concerned.
You fit into a category of people that I call Kwanzaa-preneurs. They're entrepreneurs who have made products for the Kwanzaa celebration and the Kwanzaa holiday. Do you have any advice or any guidance for someone who's maybe thinking about making a product or who has made a product for Kwanzaa?
Yeah, I mean, definitely utilizing technology, new technology, the internet, and utilizing it in a really smart way, building an audience, really identifying the people who do celebrate and really being loyal and true to them, and making sure that whatever you're selling is really in line with the principles, you know, because you shouldn't be selling something obviously that's contradictory to the principles. So, you know, doing that and really finding ways to synergize with other groups and organizations to really get it out there and let people know that this is something that you've made and it does support the holiday and supports the mission and the ideas. And but mainly, you know, I think we have to, each generation, each decade, kind of think about how we can use these tools in a contemporary context. So making sure that, you know, whatever you're doing, you're able to do it in a way that's relevant today, even though it can be rooted in the foundations of, you know, when it was created in 1966.
Okay.
It has to be fresh for the new generation, basically.
Okay. So someone who watches The Black Candle, what do you, in summing up everything, what do you want them to take away from the experience of watching the film?
Well, I think they'll have a greater understanding of where we come from, where we were, and where we're going. And I also think that it'll take a lot of viewers past where they were, even people who know a lot. Because one thing about this film is it wasn't made just for people who celebrate it or people who know about it. This film was made really for everybody. I mean, the beginning of the film, you realize you can go out on the street right now in Harlem and ask young people, do they know about Kwanzaa? What are the many of them will not be able to tell you.
I don't really know nothing about Kwanzaa.
I really never heard nothing about it.
I think it's a Jewish holiday or something like that.
Because I really don't know, because they didn't teach me.
That's really why I made the film. I mean, that's the catalyst. If you've been celebrating for 30 years, those people definitely gravitate toward the film. They definitely appreciate it, support it, and they like it. But I'm really interested in the person who doesn't know anything.
I don't know what Kwanzaa is neither.
I know all the 7 days of.
I don't know all the 7 days, but I know some of the days.
Because that's, you know, we're trying to educate, we're trying to inform. So I think you'll come away with something that you didn't know. I think it'll take people past where they were to new places that they hadn't yet considered. I think they'll be entertained, they'll be educated. I guess it's like that edutainment thing that KRS-One talked about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what things are you looking forward in the future to working on? Present projects, future projects?
Yeah, well, right now I'm working on like several new book projects. I got several new film projects. You know, lots of different people involved. Just crazy. So I've been traveling a lot for those, and just look forward to 2011. The new books will be coming out. Motherland is new, so that's kind of just coming out. And then there's some other films that I'm working on. A lot of the projects I'm working on now are getting into the fiction realm. So there's great truth in fiction. And so there's a fiction film, feature narrative film, and then there's novel and some other stuff. So definitely look for that.
All right. Now you mentioned your schedule. I looked on your website and I saw one day you're going to be in Dakar, Senegal, and like the next day you're going to be somewhere in Washington State.
yeah. It's kind of a crazy schedule because balancing doing the creative work with speaking engagements and, you know, trying to spread your work, and, you know, people want you to talk about your work and you want to do it because but at the same time you have to work and you have to do your other work, which is the actual writing and the actual filmmaking. And so yeah, sometimes it gets a little crazy and it changes every week, but it's a good journey. It's fun.
I hear that.
I'm enjoying it, and you know, everywhere I go, I pick up new things, learn new things. So it's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Definitely keep up the good work.
Thank you.
You're inspiration to a lot of people.
Appreciate it, man. And let me know how we can work together and how I can help you with your site. And
I really appreciate that.
Cool.
All right. Thank you.
All right, man.
All right.